Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and today we're going to take a look at the 2017 Kia Forte LX Plus. Now, we've introduced to you the 2017 Kia Forte before. We've done the SX model, which is the very top of the line. We've done the hatchback, which is the Forte 5. And we've also talked about the lane keeping assist, which debuted on this car, not this model, but on the SX model, which actually helps steer the car to keep it within its lane. This vehicle doesn't have that feature, but this vehicle is our top selling model of this car, and the small compact segment is the most popular car segment in Canada. So why is this car doing so well? Well, the number one reason is value, and the LX Plus is a great example of the value you can get in this class. So let's go take a look at it. So maybe you've looked at the Forte in the past and you may realize that the 2017 looks a little different than the vehicles of the past, and that's because the 2017 is a redesign, and the best place to see that redesign is here in the headlights. The headlights not only look cooler, but they also help with aerodynamics. Aerodynamics helps with efficiency, and speaking of efficiency, this vehicle now has a 2-liter engine. It used to have a 1.8 liter at this level, but the 2-liter is actually more fuel efficient and more powerful. So you get 147 horsepower in a 2-liter engine that's paired to a 6-speed transmission. The 6-speed transmission also helps with power, and it helps with fuel economy. Speaking of power and fuel economy, there's a drive mode option in this car, and it's a really cool option. A lot of people think that if you hit in our competitors' drive mode options or in their similar systems, you hit the button and it changes the way the transmission shifts, and that's it. Well, Kia goes a step further. We have 3 drive modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport. The Eco button, if you hit the button, it'll switch the transmission, the engine, the steering feel, and the gas pedal feel to help you get better fuel economy. Power does the opposite, and that's what really impressed me the first time I drove this car. It used to be such minor variances between the drive modes, but the Eco mode to the Normal to the Sport, there's a really big variance. So when you put this car in Sport mode, it's actually fun to drive. It's not just a marketing gimmick. It changes enough things that it really feels sporty and fun. Eco, same thing. I've driven this car on the highway and been amazed because I've easily exceeded the government fuel economy ratings, and that's because all of the Kias with these drive modes are tested in Normal for those government fuel economy ratings that you see on the window. In Eco mode, it's actually quite easy to exceed those numbers in the proper conditions. So I mentioned before that the compact class of cars is the most popular class of cars sold in Canada. And of course, SUVs and crossover utilities are huge sellers, and they're encroaching on that car segment. So how do small cars stay popular? Well, it's things like this: huge trunks, a lot of practicality in the sedan body style. So this one's got a really deep trunk all the way to there. It's got a wide opening, easy to get to. Little touches that make a difference too. Instead of having to reach here and grab the paint and potentially scratch the paint when you're shutting the trunk, it's got a little handle inside, so the trunk's super easy to shut. Outside, you've got a great look. You've got aerodynamics with a spoiler built into the body style, great lights, nice swoopy bumpers, some nice details down low as well. It's a great looking car, great style, but also really functional, really aerodynamic. Hopping in the back seat of this car, you see a lot of that practicality shining through again. If you've got kids, the Kias have really wide opening doors. Helps you put child seats in. It also helps adults get in. But as you can see, I'm about 6 feet tall, and I easily fit in here. You've got full-size seats, a lot of width, lots of space. Thing I like with the plastic seats here, you've got a hard plastic there. So if you've got kids that like to kick the seat when they're sitting behind you, this is really easy to wipe down. The passenger side seat has a pocket here, and you've also got little features like an armrest here. That's a padded armrest with cup holders in there. You've got bottle holders in the door, and the thing I like that you don't see very often is you've got padded armrests. So on the doors, nice soft spot to put your elbows. You've got really nice a really good recline area here, so you've got a lot of space, and again, tons of headroom. So whether you've got kids or adults in the back of this car, they're all going to have a lot of room, a lot of features, and a lot of comfort. So if you're looking at the Kia Forte, the LX Plus trim is the place to start looking, just to see what you can get. This car is all about value, and the biggest thing you're going to notice for the 2017 model year is it has a huge 7-inch screen. Now that screen does a lot of things for you. You can get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you can use them legally through this screen. Now it allows you to send voice message, like text messages through voice. You can read them and see them. It's a great feature. It reads them to you, so you don't have to stare at your screen and take your eyes off the road. It can read everything to you. Whole bunch of features with those 2 features, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The big thing it does for you is it gives you a navigation built-in unit straight here. Now it's not factory navigation, it's through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The reason that's great is because the maps are up to date and so is the routing. And I've been amazed at the difference between the distances or the time it takes to get from A to B when I compare a regular GPS unit to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are often much quicker, and that's because they have up-to-date routing. So everybody's got the road names on there, but the routing and the decision making that the computer can make with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is often much better. So that's a huge feature in this class. The other thing the 7-inch screen does for you that's super basic, it gives you a great screen for a backup camera. Everybody's bringing in backup cameras, but they're putting them on these tiny screens with poor resolution or strange wide angle views. This one's got a proper wide angle. It's really easy to see. It keeps your vehicle safe. It keeps those around you safe. And you have to just see it to see the difference. It's just such a difference driving this car compared to some of our competitors when you look at the backup camera. So let's talk some other features. You've got express up-down front windows. So you touch them once to bring them up, you touch them once to bring them down. That's great. Of course, you got power locks, power mirrors. This one's got automatic headlights, so you'll never forget to turn your headlights off, but you'll also never forget to turn them on. The windshield wipers, I love. They've got a defroster right on the windshield wipers. So if you're kind of in a hurry to head to work one morning, you didn't properly scrape the windshield, it's going to defrost the ice underneath your windshield wipers. You're not going to rip those windshield wipers off or damage the motor when you're running those windshield wipers first thing in the morning. So great little feature, a real value feature. What else can we talk about? Let's talk about steering wheel controls. We've got a ton of steering wheel controls. The LX Plus has a unique LCD display in the middle there. It gives you a ton of options to customize the car, to give you the features that you want. All of those can be taken care of from the steering wheel. You've also got steering wheel mounted cruise controls. You've got a ton of headroom in here. You've got a tilt telescopic wheel. It goes in and out, up and down. You've got really soft touches. So you've got a soft touch on the doors, on the armrests here, soft touch armrest here, cup holders, heated seats out front, the 3 drive modes I talked about, so sport, eco, and normal, really changes the personality of the car. Great if you have a couple different drivers or just if you're in a different mood. Inside the door, you've got bottle holders, lots of space to hold other things, 6-speaker stereo, which is satellite radio is standard. This car is all about value. So if you're looking at small cars and you don't know where to start, the Kia Forte LX Plus is a great place to start to show you what you can get for the money you have to spend. And this car is always a great value. So if you're looking at any car in the segment, make sure you try this car out, look at it, test drive it. Feel free to test drive our competitors. We're not concerned about you test driving them because we know that for value, this is a great place to start. So if you want to give it a try, come on down to Brantford Kia and try out the Kia Forte LX Plus.